Hello guys, welcome to another video from LearnLab. If you're interested in becoming a full stack developer, then you've got to watch this video because we will be breaking down the term full stack developer. We will be identifying um, what uh, characteristics that you may find in a full stack developer and why are they identified uh, and differentiated from other developers in the market. So the first thing you can do is you might get an idea that you want to become a full stack developer. So you open Google and you type in a search box that how to become a full stack developer. And then you will get a lot of links pointing to websites or offering whether paid or free courses for you to get certified as a full stack developer. And I personally do not believe in this because what certifies me in whatever skill that I want to gain is how much I master this skill, not a certificate from a website. And I've had a lot of discussions before with people who got certified from two of the most famous websites on the internet offering web development or programming courses, and I can just evaluate these people as uh, juniors or newbies in programming or in web development, but they are just bragging about the certificate that they got. And I do believe that the market will teach you more than anybody else. So if you're interested about learning a technology, go ahead and learn this technology until you master it, and then search for something else to learn, and thus you will be pursuing being called a full stack developer. So a lot of people have been telling me that I want to become a full stack developer. And I've been asked a lot during the last few months by most of my friends if I would recommend a place or a website where they can get certified as full stack developers. But the first question I might ask before I answer this question is, do you know what's a stack? If you want to become a full stack developer, then what's the stack? Which stack that you want to acquire? And I just picked up four of the most commonly used stacks on the internet. Of course, you will find a variety of stacks available, but I just picked the four most commonly used. So you might find the LAMP stack, you might find the MERN stack, the Mean stack, and the Python Django stack. So imagine you are a developer and you are working on a Linux machine running Apache as a web server. You decided to use MySQL as a database management system and PHP for building your backend system. If you master these four technologies, then you have mastered the LAMP stack. Another stack is when you use MongoDB instead of MySQL. If you use Express.js, React.js or Redux, and Node.js for the back end, then you have acquired the MERN stack. And if you just replace the React.js slash Redux with Angular, then you have acquired the MERN stack. So we have defined what's the stack. Now let's break down the term full. And in my own perspective, I see that a full stack developer means less layers. So imagine if I'm a client and you are a freelancer, and I asked you to build me a mobile app with whatever features. I just want to build a mobile app where people can, uh, for example, transfer money between their wallets, and users can just add money to the app and then send it to uh, their friends. So I don't have a design. I don't have any idea about what technology to use. All the decision is yours. So you decided to build this software from scratch. The first thing that you will need is a UI UX designer, someone to build the UX, the user experience, for those people who will use the app in order to come up with the best experience for them. And then you will need a UI developer, someone who will convert this design to, uh, let's say, a mockup using one of the technologies. Let's say you decided to use React Native. So you want to create an interactive version of this software using React Native, no logic yet, just navigating between the screens. And then you will need a front-end developer, someone who will add the functionality, the front-end functionality of this app, and then you will need a back-end developer to build the logic, whether you decided to build an API or just the back-end. And you will also need a database manager, or a database admin, someone who will create the structure of the database, someone who will create a sustainable structure that will hold for the longest time. And you will need someone with some skills in DevOps to uh, build your automated pipeline or set up a CI/CD for this project in order to automate the deployment of this backend system on the live server, and also to deploy the app on the stores. So if you were able to do all of these things together, then you are a full stack developer because you are requiring less layers. And you can think about it from an opposite way. If you have to hire all of these people, then this thing represents more layers. The project will first go to the UI UX designer, and then the UI UX designer will give his output as an input for the UI developer. Then the UI developer will pass it to the front end developer, and then the front end developer will wait for the back end developer to build the logic, and then the back end developer will integrate the front end with the back end and then give it to the DevOps guy, who will just build the automation and deploy the service or the product on a live server. So if you can just handle all these tasks, then you are considered as a full stack developer because you have required less layers. And of course, you will be making the process faster. And this takes us to another thing, which is what are the important features that someone should find in a full stack developer? The first thing, as we said in the previous slide, is the speed. If I'm a client and I'm having to choose between one of two developers, one of them can deliver the website if I ask them to build me a website. One of them sent me a proposal to build a website in a week, and the other one proposed to build a website in 2 or 3 weeks. Of course, the first one I will be thinking about, or the developer that I might take the decision to work with, is the one who will deliver the work for me faster. But at the same time, I will be looking at the quality. So that's why the second perk of becoming a full stack developer, or if you're a client, the perk of working with a full stack developer is the mastery, because you will be 100% sure that this person masters the technology that you will be using in your software. Imagine if I'm the same client and I just put a requirement for this project for people who are with a 3-year experience or 5-year experience with React Native, for example. So I'll be looking for the speed and the mastery. And the last thing would be the architecture. How this developer can build the best folder structure for the project, how this developer can maintain the best database structure, how this developer can pick up the best technologies and the most sustainable technologies that will not lead me to come after a couple of years and revamp each and everything in my software just to make it sustainable and keep it up and running. So these are the 3 factors that should be existing in a good full stack developer. And this slide actually leads me to talking about something that I will be creating another video for, which is one of the pitfalls where most of the people fall in it, which is do I have to think about the technology or the business? And we will be making a full dedicated video to this topic. If you are about to build your own startup, do you have to think more about the technology, or you have to think more about the business? Are you building a tech business, or you're building a tech-enabled business? And of course, if you're building a tech business, you have to focus on the tech because this is your product. And if you're building a tech-enabled business, then you definitely have to think about the business. You just need to build a software. Just think about it as a gate from which you will be facing consumers to buy your products or services. So this is it for this video. I just wanted to highlight some of the points that are misconstrued by most of the people, because most of the people think that you can go to a place, spend 3 or 4 months there, whether online or offline, and just pay a lot of money, and then you will get a certificate saying that you are a full stack developer. And then when it comes to real job, if you are having a profile on freelancer.com or Upwork or even Fiverr, then you just notice that you are unable to execute the job because you just have a certificate telling you you are a full stack developer. You have to go through each and everything in the market. You have to learn when to use it, why to use it in order to master the skill and in order to be titled as a full stack developer.